Hello YouTube. Got a strike on our channel today, or yesterday rather, from Dennis. No, it's not from Dennis Lynch, it's from Fox, whom Dennis M. Lynch works for. Every strike that I've ever gotten on YouTube always comes from Fox. As we all know, Fox stands for 666, the beast. It's part of the beast system. Don't forget that Fox is not a news network. They perform under the color of news, but they're not a news network. Political analyst news. They do not report news. They report spin. They put their opinions on what's happening and report it as news, so that you'll be, hey, well, that's the truth. It's coming from Fox News. Fox News is not the news, people. Trust me. Do a little research. You'll find out. That's why you always have problems with Fox. So I've always had problems. Every strike that I've ever received, copyright infringement or matched content, you know, they're really childish about all this crap. They should leave people alone and leave their videos alone, and you can tell when they're just screwing with you. That video had been there for 3 years. No one ever said a word about it. And then all of a sudden, I wake up and BAM! BAM! Here's your strike, buddy. Bend over. Here comes YouTube. So, they're out to get people like me and you, if you're interested in the truth and you're not behind Obama, and, you know, if you're not conforming to the system, shame, shame, shame. That's bad. We'll punish you. It's ridiculous. It's futile. I do not and will not monetize these videos. I'm not going to do it. I don't care if they give me another strike. That's what the problem is. They have sent me letter after letter after letter after letter. Join us. Be our partner. You'll get 45%. You'll get blah, 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 blah. I'm sure you've all read them. I'm not going to let somebody else have more than 50% of my intellectual property. I would not let anyone have, unless somebody helped me on a project, unless somebody worked on it with me, they're not going to get 50% of the credit. They're not. What I'm trying to say is these idiots at YouTube are just, all they do is provide a place to upload videos. They're not making the videos. They're not taking the time out of their schedule to do these things. They're not doing the research. They're not doing the editing. They're not doing anything. And you'd think that would be enough. They could just leave you alone. They make tons of money on advertising here. You know, even if you don't monetize your videos, they still run ads all over them. Where you go, yeah, you can skip it in 3 seconds, but that still is in your mind, and it's a long 3 seconds. 3 seconds to your senses is way different than 3 seconds in your subconscious mind. 3 seconds in your subconscious mind is probably unmeasurable. It probably stays there forever. So, you know, they're not doing this because they want to have people, they want to help people make their videos public. They don't care about us. All they care about is the money they make off of us. We're just the sheep. You know, we're the cash crop. That's why they make straw men. You know, that's why the federal government makes a straw man for you when you're born in your mother's birth, like a ship coming into a berth, and without her knowing the law and without the child knowing the law, being unable to read the language at that point, you are signed away. When you sign a birth certificate, you are signing custody of your child and possession of your child over to the federal government. If they wanted to come take you away in the middle of the night, screaming and hollering, there would be nothing that she could do about it legally if they wanted to roll that way. Now they're starting to plant their, I have a nurse friend, a friend who's a nurse. She works in the OBGYN part of the hospital, and she tells me now that where the babies are kept when they're born, there's a sealed off section that only parents are allowed in, and they are microchipping the baby's umbilical cord. After they're cutting it, they put a chip in the umbilical cord so it heals up inside the navel. And they say it falls off and falls out, but it doesn't. It grows into the navel. And if you leave that area, it sets off an alarm. If that chip leaves the area in the hospital, it's supposed to be for the security of the children, which could have been done with a bracelet or, you know, a hat, anything, clothing, somebody just being with the child, you know, have keys to get into that area of the hospital. But no, they wanted to do their microchip plant technology on these kids. So now they're starting to chip kids without any kind of consent from mother or the person they're chipping. See, the life, everybody's going to have a different opinion. My opinion, life begins in the womb. Whether you can remember it or not is neither here nor there. It has no bearing on whether or not that is the true point of the beginning of life as a human. You could arguably say that you're alive before you're conceived. Your spirit is out there somewhere in a different zone, in a different dimension that you can't see, waiting to take shape of a human in this dimension. So, you know, the whole birthing process is nothing but the first indoctrination that you get coming into this world. Just to let you know that you are their property. They have a certificate of your birth. Your name, look at your name on some of your legal documents. You know, don't listen to me, do your homework. Start looking at your legal documents. You'll find that every one of them, your name is in capital letters, all three names in capital letters. That is a corporation. That is how they write down, that's how a corporation is recognized in Admiralty Maritime law, which is what we are really under. We're not under regular law. We're damn near under martial law, but Admiralty law, Maritime Admiralty law is what sets the language for law to work. Okay, it's all about the language and how it's written and how it's used, and your name is used as a fake dummy corporation. As soon as you're born, your mother signs the paper that gives them full control over you until you become of legal age. they take out a loan on you immediately. As soon as you're born, they go to the, well, it used to be the Bank of Canada. I think it's still the Bank of Canada. As soon as you're born, they take out a loan for, I think it's now, don't quote me on this, but it's close to $1 million, or it's around $1 million. Back when they started this, when they switched, this all started in history when they went from the silver standard to the Federal Reserve. And that's what triggered the con of selling, or rather pawning, your live birth certificate for money to another government. And at the time they started doing this, I believe the amount that they got from the government per head was close to $100,000 a person, which, you know, back then was a lot of money. Now it's not, but it's a business deal, and there's accrued interest, and now the loan's up to $1 million or $1.5 million or something like that. So don't think you're in the land of the free and the home of the brave. You're in the land of the scared and the home of the slave, because you are owned. You are owned. The rights to you are owned. And you will do what you are told until the rights to you are sold. You are nothing but a bank loan to them. And they've been milking you ever since. It's really an embarrassment sometimes to be part of the human race. The Creator is going to see to it that people that destroyed the earth get destroyed. They'll get their up and comings quick, permanently. If you're feeling like me and you're being attacked, you're being hassled, not important. The important thing is learning how to adapt quickly without any emotion attached to the past. If you can do that, you can survive any situation. But you have to detach emotionally, which sounds very cold, but sometimes it's very necessary to survive. It's a survival technique. Don't forget, we all have a reptilian brain. It's at the very center of our brain. The hippocampus, I believe is what they call it, or the R campus, reptilian campus. It's where your fight and flight instincts are, your survival instincts. Closest area in the brain to the pineal gland. And the pineal gland is what I believe to be the seat of the soul. I believe that's where your soul resides in your body, is in the pineal gland. So that's pretty much your radio transmitter to hook in to the universe so that you can decode the information. YouTube, get off your high horse. Quit acting like God. Why do you hassle people that just want to put up some videos? You know, I don't want you to have more than half of possession of my intellectual property. Why would I do that? I don't care if I have to eat ramen noodles every day the rest of my life. I'd never do that. Never would I give my art away. And you think 45% of what's 100% mine is fair to give me? And I should just hand you 55%? Why? Alright. It's William. Still here. Not going anywhere. And we'll be talking to you soon. Stay tuned. Have a good one.